know more history about Fredericktown. My granddad had written a lot of stuff about Fredericktown. And so I brought it all down here, and you folks saw we could, I guess.
We got a copy that stayed with, but many pages.
I know there's a lot of pages.
I'm not the public speaker in the family. I'm Kathy Grant, and Steve's my husband, and Tom's my oldest son, and his wife Jamie's over there, and my youngest son is David, and his wife is here. David is Trish, and her daughter Alexis, and Logan, and this is Noah. I'm gonna really miss Peggy. I mean, I do already. But she's, in a way, she's still here. I'm sure she's still here because every time I turn over a pot or a rug or look into something, there's a little note in there. That little note says, we got this in this year from this person, and this is very valuable. This is what kind of a pottery it is, or this is what kind of rug it is, or this needs to be taken care of in this way. And so I'm constantly finding, she's telling me things, constantly. And she will for years, because I'm not taking those little notes away. They're going to be here. Her bucket list last year, I was afraid to go. Tom, bless your heart. I didn't want to go to the tubs with her because I knew she was going to jump off that rock, and I just couldn't handle it. You guys went with her, didn't you?
Yeah, sure.
And she did, fully dressed in her clothes. She jumped off the rock, or maybe she dove. I didn't go. She wanted to find or see the lost lock. That was on her bucket list. And so we went across the creek, and it must have been
a couple of miles down there.
Couple of miles.
And hot.
In the hot.
And hot.
We walked all the way along till we found the lost lock.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she did it without any oxygen. She was on oxygen. She did it without oxygen. And it was just amazing. I mean, it was just amazing. She had a lot of things she really wanted to do before she left, because she didn't know if she was going to be back. Each year, she didn't know if she was going to make it back. So she wanted to do it all. Every year, every summer she was here, she wanted to do everything. She wanted to go to the Amish country. She wanted to go to the pottery. Whatever there was to do, Peggy wanted to do it. And she didn't want to be left. She'd say, I'm happy to stay in Fredericktown, but if somebody was getting in the car to go do something, she was right there. She wanted to go do everything. And her love of life, it was just, and her beauty. She loved beauty. You can tell just looking at this garden. Unfortunately, she's not here to plant the garden this year, and we've been trying, but she always had it just looking gorgeous. And there are 3 sisters in this family. There was Carol and Betsy and Peggy, and their parents didn't write it in a will, but they gave this house to their 3 daughters, and they said, we want this house to stay in the family, if at all possible. But if it gets to be a drag, then you can decide what to do. But if it's at all possible, it's to stay in the family. And Carol, when she died in 1999, she passed the house to her oldest son, Rob, and he has family that's coming up under him too. Betsy's still here, and she's one of the owners of this house. I understand maybe she would be passing it on to Don, who's Carol's second. To Ellie. Okay, to Ellie. And Peggy asked if I would be a third owner, because we just love it here, and we've been spending at least a month here. We started coming, and we'd spend about a week, and she'd say, can you come and spend longer next year? And we'd say, are you sure? And so we'd come and spend 2 weeks, and she'd say, it's not long enough. And we'd say, okay, we'll see what we can do. And so we've been spending for the last 5 years, maybe, a whole month, if we could do that. And last year, instead of coming in May, she had to wait till we said we were going to be here because she was afraid to be here. She didn't know if she'd be able to handle being in the house by herself with her medical. So as she arrived the day after we did, and we took her to the airport the day before we left, so that she was here as long as she could stay, as long as we were in the house. And Betsy, were you going to share last year? Okay, can I? Okay. She really wanted to see her sister Betsy. She really wanted to see her. And so last year, she decided that she wasn't going to make her plane ticket until, or maybe she asked you to come a day early or something. But they were coming down, Dawn and Betsy were coming down, and she said, I want to be here one night with them so I can see my sister. And it was a beautiful reunion. We planned this great dinner. It was Peggy had the whole menu figured out, stroganoff, and she bought the beef, and she had it all. The electricity went out, and it was out all day until maybe 8 o'clock at night, and she was fretting, and we pulled out cold cuts and salads from Chuck's house, and it was beautiful. We had candlelight, and thankfully the air conditioning came back on in time for bed, but not the air conditioning, the electricity. We could have fans. The electricity came back on, but anyway, it meant so much that she was able to see you. So it really did mean so much. So anyway, I'm so thankful to know each one of you. I can't even tell you how much each one. And I'm so thankful that I'm connected to this house and to each one of you in one way or another. And you made me speak. I was losing. I did. You made me speak.
She can't make a speech.
And I also wanted to say, anybody in the family wants to come, when we're here, it's an open door. And any friends who want to come, while we're here, it's an open door. We love having you. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
We're all going to ride at the same time.
With trailers and grandchildren.
We've already seen you move anywhere for us.
And Nicholas loves being in Fredericktown, and he's now my dog, and we've bonded quite well. He has a little playmate at home, Boswell, who's a few years younger and has a few pounds on Nicholas. And so I just want you to know that Nicholas is well taken care of. And I think at this point we're going to walk down to the point to scatter Mom's ashes, but before you're allowed to pass this point, you have to sign the book. There's a book here. You gotta sign it, please. Okay? It's a book, and you can write anything you like, or you can just sign your name. But I'd really love to know, just see your name on the book. It would mean a lot.
And then come back here for...
And then come back here for good eats, good drinks, good eats. We work, and we've got great food for you. So.
And the neighbors brought food.
They're good.
Thank
yes.
you.
They're
Thank
good.
you.
Okay. So.